Okay, so stepping into the vehicle, the first thing you're going to notice is that I have the battery cover off here to show you that we have two batteries are connected to one another. Looked at the date and it looks like March of 2019. So those two batteries are just a little over a year and have not been used at all on any kind of trips or anything like that. So they should be good to go. To your left, you have this one. I'll explain to you really quick. Whenever you're in shore power, so if you're plugged in, you want to turn this to the off position. And the reason being is that that will overcharge your battery, and then you're going to run into some issues with that. So if you're going on a trip, you're going on a trip and you want those batteries to be charged up, then you turn those over to the on position, and that will charge them to their highest level. So I don't know. I usually give it about 24 hours, and then I shut that off. And once you're on the road too, your batteries will charge on their own. And also when your generator is going, your batteries will charge. These two switches here, one to the left is for a light on the outside, actually two lights on the outside. And this one right here is for these little night lights that are throughout the RV. You have one, I think, in your bedroom and one in the bathroom. This right here is where your awning is controlled from, and I'll show you how that works. I'm extending it now and back in. And I'll show you that that's in working condition. It works very nice. It's nice to have that. One thing about that I want to throw out there is that if your vehicle is on and your motor's running and that kind of thing, that will not work. And the way I understand it, it's kind of a safety measure, so that if you're driving and you have your awning out, then of course, it won't go in and it won't go out. So it's kind of like one of those things we had to figure out along the way. Let's see, to our left we have the main control panel. This is where everything is at. This tests your different LPG, which is your gas, your battery, the black water, the gray water, and so forth. And that tells you the level. Sometimes those could be a little bit misleading because the toilet paper situation, which I'll explain in the bathroom, kind of sends off a signal that it's full and it's really not. This is your generator. It tells you how many hours are on it. You might want to keep track of when the oil change is to be done next, but it does indicate. So for low oil or whatever, you're going to get certain kind of flashings, and it'll tell you that that you need service or whatever. And I'll kind of just go through and start the generator just the way you could see it. So in order to start it, you prime it, and you do that where that light comes on for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you push the top button. Okay, so you're going to have to do it a couple times. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hit it again. And that should start right up. Sometimes it'll take 3 times, so it just depends on how long it's been since you've ran it. I haven't started this up for, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks or so. So that's why it takes a little bit longer. Water heater button here. That, let me explain something to you about that. Okay, so when your light, right now it's lit, it's in the upper position, no light is on. That tells you that your water heater is on. Now, when you push this button, when you start off, right now it won't even do it because it's not going to require to be lit because it's hot. The water's hot right now. But this is how it would be. Like if you started off on a trip, you would come along and want to light up your hot water heater. Okay, so what's going to happen is this light right here will come on, and that's telling you that it's lighting. It's starting to light up. Okay, and depending if you have air in your line, or say you switched over your tank, propane tank, or just something like that, it will go through a cycle of 3 times of trying to light it. So it'll shut off, turn on, shut off, turn off 3 times. And then once that light is off continuously, that means it's lit. But if that light is on and it remains on, then what's happened is your propane, your water heater is not lit. So you switch this off and you redo it. You start it back up again. It'll go through that same cycle 3 times until it finally lights up. Just depending on, like I said, if you have air in the line or whatever, it may take a few of those to get this to actually start. But for the most part, if it's, you know, it'll run fine. You won't have an issue with that. Water pump on off, that means, you know, that now we have pressure, water pressure. And I'll kind of show you that right now. So you've got the water pressure, if that's on. And if you shut it off, of course, within a few seconds, you're not gonna have pressure. Arctic Pack is a feature that I've never used, but if you're in very cold weather, that is something that you would want to turn on so that your pipes would not break while you guys were out on the road. It keeps everything kind of warm, I guess, but I've never had to use it. Living room lights, kitchen lights, and this is your slide out right here. So for this particular slide out, let me move the rug real quick. Slide in. That's coming in right now. Okay, so that's it. Now it's in. This gives you still enough space to get in and out of the front cab area. Still gives you space over here on the table as well. And the nice thing about it is that you could still use the kitchen sink, and as you're driving down the road, I mean, we've made sandwiches and cooked meals as one of us are driving. It's kind of a cool deal. So let me slide that back out. And then of course upper area there, there is some features that I wanted to kind of go through with you guys, so just bear with me. I know this is kind of long and painstaking, but I think this is a good thing, because that way when we show this to you, or I show this to you, it won't be, we can kind of get in and get out. Here is a really interesting feature. I didn't even realize that we had this until I finally figured it out one day. But this right here is in an inverter. In order for you to have 110 power while you're on the road, let me shut that generator off. Stop the generator. Just hold it down until it completely goes off. That, if you're going down the road and you want 110 power, because normally you would only have 110 power if you're plugged into shore power or you have the generator on. This power inverter, when you unplug this here. You unplug that, and then plug it in down here. There's a plug, and you can see the plug. Hold on, right there. And then you have to have that switch on. Kind of one of those things I think the original owner put in. It is kind of a nice feature because that way you can watch TV here while you're driving down the road. So you have, because this is not a, this is 110. And then all these right here become 110. This down here under the table becomes 110 as well. So you could use a computer, whatever, anything that would require 110 instead of the 12 volt or whatever that is for the cigarette lighter. Okay, so the table goes up and down. There's a latch right here. I'm not going to go through all that, but that completely goes down. You make this into a bed. This is our jackknife. That's pretty self-explanatory. Lift it up, push it down, and now you have a little twin-size bed right there, which is not the most comfortable, but it works. Up here, of course, this was changed out with memory foam, so that, I think I told you about that, but that's a little more comfortable than it was. And these are extra storage spaces. I'm sure you probably looked at all those things when you went to see that Forest River. Okay, heater is down there. I'll explain that. This comes up, which is kind of a nice feature. Another thing you probably were able to see. Oh shoot, I did not light the pilot light. Okay, so this is your oven. To get your pilot light lit, you turn this over to pilot, press it in, and as you press in, you have to manually light under there, like with those long lighters. You light that, and that lights right up. I'll show you guys that when I see you. Burners, pretty self-explanatory. Oops. Turn it on to light, and you'll hear that fluid going, and there you go. Okay, so that's those. That's the burners. Fan, microwave. Again, the microwave has to be plugged. We have to be in shore power, which I am plugged into shore power, but in order for this to work, it has to have the generator on or shore power. Air conditioner, I think that's what I was going to tell you guys or trying to explain to you, but this right here, when you open that up, air comes directly into this area, but when you close that up, then it causes all of these vents to blow out air, and those are centralized throughout the whole RV. Stereo, which is really nice. It's all stereos, throughout the RV as well. Antenna, forgot about that. You just twist it up when you want to use your antenna, but of course you want that down when you're driving. Another thing that's kind of cool is this right here, which is your fan. This has to be in an open position, and that gives you a little bit of an exhaust fan deal there. Okay, so coming down here, refrigerator, wanted to go over that. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, so bear with me. This right here is okay. So right now it's on because you could see the little button there. It's in the lower position. When it's in the upper position, it's off. So now it's on. Okay, and right now it is in the upper position. So I'm using gas. And now if I go over to auto, which that's probably what I should have had it on, so I didn't use my gas. Now it's in the auto position. It's going to use the shore power that I'm plugged into. I don't know if you could see this, but you'll be able to feel the coldness of this when you see it. And then coming in here, TV, of course, turn it on. This is the one that I was telling you about that possibly took, I don't know if it's going to take another DVD. I don't trust it, but you know, somebody can maybe clean it. I don't know. But all your controls are here. This is where you have access to your video and things like that, so that you could play video games right from this area here. More storage. All your remote controls are there. Let's see. Nothing really in here. Oh, this is the couch. This is basically the type of material that was used in the front of the cab, and it got really thrashed. It's getting its wear, but as you could see, but it's still, I felt it was still in decent condition, and I think there's no tears or anything. It'll be fine. It'll hold up for a while, and maybe eventually down the road you might want to replace that too. And that right there for clothes, we always kept a little Tupperware drawer right there for extra storage for our kids, but this area was really perfect for when we were driving down the road. Slide out here, this button, this is for the main slide out, and the large one. Let's see, bring that in here. That comes right up to the bed, the end of the bed. Okay, that's in. And you could see that, of course, you can't get to any of this stuff while it's like that, but you can still lay back here. And this is also a memory foam mattress. Works out really well for driving down the road. It's very comfortable to lay back here. Let's see what I could show you really quick back here. Let's go ahead and go to, that's a little squished right now because of the slide being in, but as you can see, you still have plenty of access space to sit down there. Kids could still be watching TV, but as you're driving, and that's up to the person. We were comfortable with that. We just whenever we came into city areas where there was a lot of traffic and things like that, then we buckled our kids into the buckled areas, which both these have buckles underneath. So you have seatbelts there and seatbelts there. Okay, so back over here. This right here is it was frustrating for us because we could not figure this out. But you push this is your thermostat, and when you come here, you see it's on auto. Okay, so it's in the cool position right now. So you want that light to come to where it says cool. And of course you could adjust how cold you want it by that. But you come over here and you can hear that that's going. Also, I forgot to mention the filtering. Filter is up here, and that needs to be cleaned probably monthly if you're using it. Okay, so back over here. So the air conditioner is on now. So to get the air conditioner, this is what frustrated us, and it just drove us nuts. But you press this button again, press it again. Now the light is there. There's nothing there. Now you could hear that the air conditioner is still going. That's what drove us nuts, because we thought, we're not turning it off. But in actuality, it will shut down. It's on a sensor, and that now it's off. Okay, so we were always flipping it and just could not figure it out. So Anyway, to do the heater, go to furnace, and of course you can adjust that as well. Let's put it up higher because it may be a little warm in here for it to turn on. Okay, so that should do it. Okay, so now your heater is coming on. You can see that's blowing that little piece of paper there. But you're going to get air from here, but you're also going to get air from all of the different vents that are throughout here. There's one there. There's one in the bathroom. Okay, so heater is on. I want that off. And so I'm going to, again, let it get to that point where that light is right there. Nothing in there. No lights there. And it's still going. So it's on a sensor, and that will shut down as well here in just a few seconds. So don't understand why it does that, why it doesn't just shut off automatically, but it doesn't. And I'll show you when that shuts down. All right, so I guess we can work our way into the bathroom. And what we have, what do I have to tell you here? Oh, this is one of those things that you're definitely going to want to do. And I'm going to try to say this without sounding disgusting or gross, but as you can see, right now there's just not a lot of water coming down there. Well, there's a reason for that. Because you want to conserve water, and it's in, that it doesn't just spray out really fast at that point. So that's to flush number one. To flush number two, you take your foot and you lift up on that. And as you can see, and it takes us a little bit, but you got to fill that. I think I have the water thing off right now. Hold on a second. Let me make sure that that's on. Yeah, it's on. Water pump on. So that's why it was flowing a little slow. But anyway, you'll see as it's going to fill that up, and you can hear the pump going too. I don't know if you could hear it on the video, but okay. So that's filling that up. So you want to fill that up, a little bit higher than that. And remember, you're trying to conserve water too. So you do your business, and then once you're done, then you come through and of course flush it, and it goes down really nice. So that's how you do that. That was a big frustration as well for us until we figured it all out. This fan is not operational. It never was. I don't know if it was just something that the original owner took out, or it was never put in to begin with. We never needed it as long as we had this open, but it looks like you could have a fan for this. So that possibly is an option that you guys could add down the line. Faucet. Let's see. Nothing really in here that I think you guys can need to know about. And slides out. And I can't think of much else to show you, but I do want to show you the breaker box and that kind of thing. Okay, so that's all the way out. This is where your breakers are, and your main is right there, and all your fuses are right there. I've never had a fuse blow, but I have had a few breakers trip along the way, and that's where you would go for that. This right here is where I believe this is where your pump is at, but I don't know, it's really weird. I have never had to explore under there, but I always wondered what that was, but I'll put that back. I think that's where the pump is at though. This is extra storage under here, which is nice for blankets. Big area for blankets. And all cedar lined with lights. Very, very nice. Extra space for shoes and drawers. Plenty of space. Another cedar lined. All these are cedar lined. I believe the drawers are cedar lined. Yep, everything's cedar lined. Very good quality cedar lined. More hanger space. Up. I guess I have a light out. Oh, there it is. Again, cedar lined. Right there. More space. That's basically it. I can't think of anything else to show you guys. But yeah, I think that's it.